Hey everybody, George from Scratch Golf Tips here. Today we're going to be talking about how to hit a draw. I know a lot of people start off playing golf with a slice, they turn it into more of a manageable fade, but to have both a fade and a draw and to be able to perfect that draw is a huge part in anyone's game. It helps you maneuver the course much better. So I'm going to be going over the 3 main checkpoints you need to be going over to hit your draw every time. Before we get into the video, feel free to subscribe to the Scratch Golf Tips YouTube channel. We're posting 2 to 3 times a week, and if you're looking to improve your golf game, this is the place to do it. Now let's get right into the video. As I said earlier, there are 3 different parts that I'm going to be talking about throughout this video to hit your draw. There isn't really one thing that you can do. It's a bunch of different things that collectively come together and make that draw ball flight happen. So I'm going to be going over your club face in the setup, your body alignment in the setup, and then one thing you need to make sure that you're doing in the swing. And then if you put all 3 of those together, you should hit that draw. It will take a little bit of perfecting on the range before you can take it out onto the course, but this will have you on your way for sure. So I'm going to take you down to the mat right now, and let's talk about your club face. So we're down here at the mat, and what I want to talk about first is just the alignment of your club face to the golf ball. So when a lot of people step up to the ball, they have their club face pointed somewhere like this. From this angle, you should be able to recognize this club face is very open. The bad thing about this open club face is when you come in contact with the ball, since it is so open, the ball has more room to roll across the face, creating side spin and making the ball go out to the right if you're a right-handed golfer. So the first tip in hitting this draw is actually pretty simple. Just strengthen your grip a little bit and shut that club face. You shouldn't be shutting it to something like this where it's uncomfortable, but just make it a pretty neutral, and if anything, a little bit inside of that neutral target right there. If you do strengthen your grip a little bit, it can help, because if you have a weak grip, this will change with your wrists as you take the club back. So strengthen that grip a little bit, close that club face a little bit, and those are just 2 things you can do in the setup that can really help you promote that draw ball flight. Now looking at an aerial view here, once you can, that's the open club face I was talking about. If you can just shut it down a little bit, that's one great start here. The next thing that we can do in regards to our alignment comes in our feet actually. So some people have this slightly open stance. For me personally, I come from a baseball background, and my baseball stance was very open. So when I went to play golf, I had a naturally open stance. As you can see, in regards to my ball right here and my target line is right here, but I'm very open to it. What this creates in my swing is a swing that kind of comes across the ball, just because that's what's natural for this alignment. So if your feet are aligned like this, you're already putting yourself at a great disadvantage. So if you're trying to hit a draw, I wouldn't only make it neutral, I would even put that front foot up a little bit and maybe drop that back foot slightly back. This shouldn't be dramatic like this, but just a slight change in both. So if you have that slight change in your footing alignment, that'll help you come down and into the ball. And then if you have that grip change right here, have a little bit of a stronger grip, and that club face is more closed, those are 2 great keys in just your setup that can really promote that ball flight. Those first 2 points talk nicely about the setup and how you can help your draw that way, but the final point comes in your actual swing, the swing path. And if you don't do this well, these other 2 points mean nothing. So this is definitely one of the most important aspects of your draw. It's about your swing path, as I said earlier. If your swing path is coming from up here and then it's coming over the top, I talked about this in my slice video. If you're coming over the top like this, club comes down across the ball. When it comes across the ball spins out to the right. So what you're gonna wanna do here, have your club in the top of the backswing. You're gonna wanna drop your hands a little bit. If you drop your hands like this, you'll be coming in and across the golf ball. You need to be going in to out as opposed to out to in. This is for a righty. One player on tour we see a lot of this with, Justin Rose. You'll see him always do this before a lot of his shots. He'll do this little pump move right here. What he wants to do is drop these hands, because there are 2 moves. You can either drop your hands, you can go out with your hands and jump across the ball. If you're jumping across the ball, you're gonna hit a slice. It may be a fade if you can do it well. But if in the backswing, you can drop your hands and then come across, have this front shoulder lead across like that, have this in to out path. That is the best way that you can guarantee a draw. So if you put all three of those tips together, you should absolutely see that right to left ball flight if you are a right-handed golfer. If you do the setup correctly and you still see that ball going out to the right, 90% of the time it's because of your swing path, you're still coming out across the ball. The best way to recognize this and to diagnose it is always just record your swing from the back. So from your right shoulder back, and you should have a really good analysis of if you're coming over the ball or if you're coming down and through the ball. Being able to hit your draw on the golf course and also hit a fade, have both of those in the bag, it's crucial to maneuvering your way around a course. I know that people who play, their home course, there are always shots on that course where you just think, man, I wish I had a draw where I could get it around these trees or get it into this pin location. So to have it is very good. That being said, if you just do these 3 tips, you're not gonna get it on your first try. What will happen with a lot of people is if you're being too dramatic with your down and into out swing path, you'll have a hook. And that's fine, just try and continuously turn that hook into more of a baby draw. I hope after this video you can learn to perfect that draw and add it to your game. Thank you very much for watching. On the left side of your screen you should see a button to subscribe to the SGT YouTube channel. On the right side you should see a video that YouTube has recommended that you watch. Thank you very much for watching once again. Play well and take care.